Today's topic is mass media. The media that was used to disseminate war-related information later was transformed into mass media. In 1922, Baron John Reith, who was the founder of BBC, announced for the first time that mass media that was used to disseminate military information will be used for the masses. The major factor in the emergence of media is the growth of communication technologies. Mass media can be identified as newspapers, books, magazines, radio, and television. Definitions of mass media. Accessories applied to transmit information between distances or time is identified as mass media. Next definition. This definition was introduced by DeFlo and Dennis in their book Understanding Mass Communication. Further, they have pointed out that the major mass media in modern society are books, magazines, newspapers, radio, and television. According to the Oxford Dictionary, when an invisible audience is addressed through media, that media is identified as mass media. Next definition in Oxford Dictionary, mass media is identified as those types of media that address an invisible multiple audience spread throughout a whole geographical area. Features of mass media. Number 1, use of technology. Number 2, instant and continuous. Number 3, organized and institutionalized. Number 4, involvement of professional communicators. Number 5, subject to the activity of multiple gatekeepers. Number 6, diverse and large audience. Number 7, delayed feedback. Number 8, commercial oriented. Next topic, functions of mass media. Providing education, information, motivation and entertainment are the basic communication functions of mass media. Some of the unique roles played by the mass media are stated in the Many Voices, One World document presented by the UNESCO. Number 1, surveillance. It means collecting information that is necessary for members of the society, safeguarding that information, collecting information regarding the social needs of the members of the society, collecting information regarding natural hazards or risks, and disseminating this information quickly and educating the society on this information. Number 2, interpretation. Interpretation includes explaining clearly the information and various events, commenting on them based on the feedback received from the society, as well as presenting them with interpretation and analysis. Number 3, correlation. This essentially means building mutual interaction between the individuals and institutions through mass media messages. The correlation function of mass media helps to maintain social stability. Number 4, socialization. Socialization function of the mass media consists of the social network of the media educating people on the behavior of society, on the knowledge and values of society, providing this information to the people and identifying common problems and problems of society. Harold D. Laswell mentions the following as the functions of mass media. Number 1, surveillance. Number 2, distribution of news around the world. Number 3, the ability to shape thinking and ideas of the audience. Professor Wilbur Schramm mentions 3 major functions of mass media. Number 1, the role of the guardian. Number 2, the role of the forum for discussion. Number 3, the role of a teacher. In addition to these, there are many other activities of the media. It performs the role of a guard in a democratic society. The basic idea is to be vigilant of the various threats on the common people and build a voice against such threats. Here, special attention is given to the activities of the state. In the social process, if the rulers act in an undemocratic manner, the mass media, with faith of the masses, should act in order to prevent social harm to the society. Nevertheless, it often happens that the mass media represents the ideology of the ruling class. Next point, being helpful to identify contemporary social consciousness. Mass media helps to provide a new lifestyle, develop new habits and mannerism, to obtain new products and to enhance new encouragement to live and understand forms of empathy. At the same time, mass media also build a tendency to adapt an innovative modern lives. Mass media expands the appreciative levels of the receivers, functions as an information center for the dissemination of information on innovation. Next topic, classification of mass media. Mass media can be classified in a variety of ways, that is print media and electronic media. media. Printed media is classified as newspapers, books, magazines, and electronic media can be classified as radio and television. With the arrival of digital technology, mass media is further classified. Topic: newspapers. Newspapers are originated as the first organized mass media. Through the core of the newspaper consists of the news. The newspaper has news and features. According to the Sumangala dictionary, newspaper is the publicity paper for news. Publicity paper for news. Newspapers belong to classification of mass media. Newspapers are originated at the first organized mass media. Though the core of the newspaper consists of news, the newspaper has news and features. According to Sumangala dictionary, newspaper is the publicity paper for the news. Newspaper is the publicity paper for the news. Apart from the above, it is also useful to look at some of the other definitions of the newspaper. A daily or a weekly publication containing news that contain common concerns of the majority of the people in a particular geographic region is identified as a newspaper. The UNESCO definition of a newspaper goes as a day-to-day format that provides necessary information during a specified time and a publication not bound together, publishing information necessary for daily life. The Oxford Dictionary defines the term newspaper in the following manner: which one carries news that interest the public, advertisements, literature related matters, and other items published daily or weekly in printed form is identified as a newspaper. The newspaper is a print publication. It's a collection of papers not bound together. It can be published daily or weekly. It contains news, photos, features, and advertisements. It also is identified by a special name said by Brown L. This simple explanation is described in much detail by Professor Sunanda Mahendra in this manner. Newspaper is a kind of first of a kind pamphlet designed to provide news on a daily or on a weekly basis. However, it is noteworthy that with time, rather than being a medium of only news, it developed into a publication that included a variety of features as well as the provision of news. The definition given at the beginning of the newspaper has changed as a result of the use of technology. A number of features are included in a modern daily newspaper or a weekly newspaper. Apart from local and foreign news, there are features such as photographs, cartoons, painting, colored scripts, advertisements, creative essays, and editorial. There are also several kinds of newspaper types. Apart from the ordinary newspapers, which include general information and features, there are various special types of newspapers focused on different subjects such as children, women, sports, science, and cinema. Books also belong to classification of printed media. Book, according to the Sumangala dictionary, is a written or printed document. Written or printed paper or leaves put together and bound as one collective document could be identified as a book, says the great Sinhala dictionary of Harishchandra Vijayatunga. The book is considered to have begun the modern media history. This caused a change in the society. What was printed as books at this time was largely what was composed in a vernacular language well known among the people, being presented as a book. Not only this, as a process of extension, political and religious pamphlets and tracts were published as books. These tracts led to a change in medieval thinking. As the first step, documents became books on laws, decrees, documents, and letters related to the state and government. Looking at it this way, the book has led to a change and a renaissance in the society. As a result of the development in communication technology, we have the electronic newspapers or e-newspapers. As a result, while computer-based information generation happens voluminously, it has become possible to get e-news via mobile phones. With newspapers being now available on the internet, the nature of newspaper reading is undergoing changes. Next topic, magazines. The Oxford Dictionary defines a magazine as a single document published weekly or monthly carrying a documents or photos. UNESCO organization defines a magazine as a publication bound together which carries information necessary for the day-to-day life of the people, published continuously within a definite time frame. The term magazine refers to a publication that contains short articles as well as photographs that focuses on a field or a particular target audience and is published within a specific time frame. This is also known as a serial publication. Publishing of magazines can be done monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, biannually, and annually. Magazines are published along the themes of arts, religion, sports, agriculture, science, commerce, economics, politics, home science, culture, sports, education, etc. As a print media, in comparison with the newspaper, there are visible differences in a magazine. The magazines are differ from the newspapers. Knowledge can be obtained by storing the articles in the magazines for a long time. Most of the time, current information is not included. Next topic is radio. Radio is the first electronic media. Radio as a sound transmission medium was the result of technological development. Radio frequency occurs in one or more chords. These are connected with no wires to a single location by using electromagnetic waves that are generated by high frequency alternating current. Radio is an audio media. It is a source of sound. Sound can be divided into three parts: human voices, music, and external sounds. Each of these sounds has its own distinctness, and the sound is delivered only in towards one direction. Radio is the result of the technological development of the telephone and the telegraph. Radio broadcasting began in an organized way in 1914 to 15. During the First World War, it was used for military purposes. Radio was initially called the wireless to indicate the absence of wire. This made it possible to transmit messages to long distances. Later, the radio became popular as a household equipment among the people. It played a major role in creating cultural diversification, developing of entertainment, and providing information. The main characteristics of radio media: it covers a wide range. The message travels in one direction. It is simple mobile medium. The message can be presented at one time so that it can be understood at the same time. Programs can be presented focusing on specific audiences. It is possible to establish international, national, and regional radio networks. It plays an important role in building up the power of imagination of the receivers as an radio medium. It is a less expensive media compared to television. Next topic is television. Television is an audio-visual media. The combination of the visual and the auditory has made it very popular medium, exerting a powerful influence on individual minds. Television is the most powerful media in the world. Television as a media has for a very long period been influential in the creation of social, economic, political, and cultural trends around the world. Television, which started as medium of education, has greatly impacted on the birth of democratic societies in the world. Education, information compilation, entertainment, and persuasion can be identified as the main functions of the television media. It is also necessary to understand that the television media, while influencing the various aspects of day-to-day lifestyles, have helped to shape attitudes, knowledge, and behavior. In the contemporary society, the television is widely used for political and commercial purposes. The main characteristics of the television media: it is audio-visual. It contains a variety of content and vivid, colorful form. It is private, home, and friendly medium. It is an attractive medium. It is a medium that captures a person's full attention. It comprises complex technology. It consists of a formal, institutionalized organizational structure. It contains national and international characteristics. Next topic, cinema. Cinema was used as a propaganda medium during the initial stage, just during the First World War, and with the expansion of the television media, it became a medium of arts.